This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.
Welcome to the Life in Football podcast, baby. I'm your host, Mike V.
And this your co-host, Colin Moore. You know we loving life and enjoying football.
Top-notch coaches all around the world. Top-notch all around the world. Today, we got somebody on from the city of Houston, Coach Alex Brown. Now, what I mean by the city of Houston, he's actually right down there right now with the Rice Owls. And y'all know this is a top-notch, almost hidden program because you almost don't hear that much from Rice, but they always looking clean and fly, a big boy stadium in a big boy city. And Coach Alex Brown is the recruiting coordinator. So he out there getting all the talent and making sure he getting top-notch ballers for the Rice Owls. Now, Coach Alex Brown, he has businesses too. And he got Up Close and Personal, which is his website that he promotes, and it's all about football and life as well. And he has a podcast too. So this is going to be great. Y'all just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Simo, bring him on.
How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. Appreciate y'all having me on the show.
Coach, same here. It's a blessing to have you on. And I want to get right into it, Coach. How did you get into the game of football? Because we checked everything on about you, and, man, you've been handling business from the day you got in. So I just want to know, when did it start to get you to this point?
Started really young, man, and I had an awesome set of parents that let me do the football. I played 3 sports growing up. I had an older brother that I looked up to, and I fell in love with the game of football when I was a kid, and it's funny. People ask me this all the time. When I was in 4th grade, my dad said, "Hey, can you help me with my fantasy football league?" And I didn't know what he was talking about. I played peewee ball with Luke Jokel, who wound up being a top 5 pick, and we had this dominant peewee team, right? But that's when I really kind of started to watch the draft. I mean, all the way down to when I was in junior high and high school, I started falling in love with the game and really watching talent. And I knew before I graduated high school it's what I wanted to do. So when I went to college, I like to tell people I built my own challenge by going to a school that didn't have a football program. And I kind of had to work my way in from the outside. So I went the media route, because I went to the University of Texas at Arlington and didn't have a football program. And I did the media thing. I was a draft analyst. I really started my own website. That turned into an opportunity with Bleacher Report, which turned into an opportunity with Sporting News, which turned into a summer internship with NFL Network. And over the course of time, I got involved with USA Football. And I was always trying to get into scouting. That was the end-all, be-all when I started. I was, gung-ho about I'm going to be the NFL's youngest GM, and that was kind of like the thing that I had kind of imprinted in my mind. And I was so in love with watching tape and all those things that go along with it, and going to games and putting the legwork in and building my contacts, and really realized that there's no way to get into the NFL game unless you have actual experience in college football, or you either play, you coach, or you've got experience at the college level. And I wasn't playing, I wasn't coaching, so I knew that I needed to get in with a college program. And so I kind of pivoted really my senior year of college, got involved with USA Football, got linked up with a great man, Dallas Blacklock. He coaches at Texas Southern right now. He was the high school relations director at Houston at the time. And when Tom Herman got the job at UH at the end of 2014, heading into 2015, I hit him up. I said, "Dude, is there any way I can get a foot in the door?" And he sets me up to meet their director of recruiting. And it was as short as a 4-minute trip into an office where I'm walking down a hallway to go meet this director, Adrian Mays, who I just played against this past week. He's a tight ends coach at UNT, and he's about 20 feet away from me. Says, "Hey, you got 15 seconds. What do you want?" And I said, "I just want a foot in the door, man. I'm here to help. I'm here to work. This is what I've done. This is my experience, so I've learned from." And he took a shot on me back in 2015. And sometimes I say that I might have peaked a little early. We signed Ed Oliver, De'Aaron King that year, beat Florida State in the Peach Bowl, but had some really awesome times at Houston for really 4.5, almost 5 years, and left this past year. So 2019, when the Dana Holgerson change happened, I stayed on as the director of recruiting for a short time and got offered the same position at Rice, and it was just a better fit where really the values that I held and the things that I had learned from an NFL scouting perspective were really, really in line with Coach Mike Bloomgren here at Rice. And it was just the perfect matchup. And I'm so happy that I'm at Rice and I get to work with a head coach that really, really creates a great opportunity for people to grow and learn in this business. So really, really fortunate to be at Rice, but it's a handful of people along the way that really, extend their hand and help you along the way. And that's where I've gotten.
Now, Coach, isn't it amazing how that one moment when your dad pretty much said, "Come help me with that fantasy draft," that pretty much seemed like what shaped your drive. And now you're here at Rice, giving them all this amazing information you done gathered from Houston, you done gathered from all the spots you done been. So what are you doing to give Rice, everything they need to put them to the top of the conference and the top just in that area or in that state, period?
Yeah, we really pride ourselves on the fact that it's big-time football in a world-class degree, and there's really only 5 places in the country you can get that. You can go to Stanford, you can go to Northwestern, Duke, Vandy, or Rice, and there's a lot of other good schools. There's some high academics like the Ivies, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, all that, right? That's the cream of the crop academically, but they don't play big-time ball. Or you could go to a state school and play some big-time football, but, major in X football degree. So we really want to find kids that want to be elite on and off the field. So it's a different mentality. Like we battle, half of the kids that we get, we'll battle some academies, because they have a different driven mindset. And we're going to beat out some, we've beaten out Arkansas, Vanderbilt, SMUs of the world. Like we're going to go toe to toe with people because we do believe in the product we have to offer, but it is because of the people. And that's where it starts. So as far as like how I approach this recruiting process, I think the number one thing that you have to do is you have to evaluate the character of a young man and what's the fit within your program. For us, when it comes to fit and what we're looking for academically is really important. So do they hit those benchmarks? But more importantly, like, are they, a self-starter? Are they disciplined? Do they handle adversity? You try to cross those T's and dot those I's as you start the recruiting process. And then it gets into the, the thorough evaluation that everybody goes through, and everybody's different. We know what we're looking for. Other teams know what they're looking for. But once we take those steps and get all the way to the end of the evaluation, we only offer to commit. So none of our offers are quote unquote non-committable. And it's something that we really take a lot of pride in. Last year, we had the fewest offers in the country. This year, we're second fewest. And we like to really focus in on like, what's our hit rate? If we're offering, 68 guys, how many commitments do we have? Are we at 16? Okay, great. So 1 in every 4 kids that we're offering is going to sign with us. And that's really cool because now my relationship with a kid gets to go beyond, hey, what's up with mom? How are the folks? Or, hey, how's school going? Like, I can ask him about his girlfriend. I can ask him about, hey, how's that class going that you've been struggling with? Or, hey, asking about a specific play or something that happened in the last week, and get real with people, because if a coach can't get real with you during the recruiting process, what do you expect when they get you on their campus? So at the end of the day, to round things back around to the front of it, it's about finding guys that want to be great on and off the field. That's really our whole mindset, because that's what we have to offer.
Now, Coach, I really appreciate what you just put together for the criteria of guys that you're recruiting, and also offering kids that you're offering them to commit. So that's something that you usually don't hear, and that's what's so special about the things that you have going on and that Rice has, put into place as well, that I completely love, because it ain't just the same old cookie cutter situation for as a kid going into an environment and thinking, okay, this how it goes. Like, hey, no, this the commitment. Go ahead and make it, because this is going to give you a great opportunity from now to the rest of your life. So I just want to thank you for that information you gave. And also, I saw in your title is NFL liaison. So if you could break down what are some of your tasks and job duties that comes with that.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part of being the pro liaison is being a contact point for these scouts. And now especially it makes it even harder for these guys, because we talk about all the time with not being able to go on the road and see recruits or have recruits come on campus. Well, these guys are trying to decide what to do with draft picks and millions of dollars. So, what I've done in the past is I always have a booklet that, I'm going to make sure I have everything, all the vital information, height, weight, academic info, when they graduate, the important people in their life, family members, all those sorts of things. You got to have those boxes checked off for them. And really what I try to do each and every year is, sit down with those seniors and have a one-on-one, ask them like those tough, hard questions that scouts are going to ultimately ask them, so that now when that scout asks me, hey, what was home life for him? Instead of just saying, oh, he's got two parents and he's from Arlington, Texas, I'm able to say, he grew up, his dad was started his own church. The whole family was involved with it. That's a big part of his life, and X, Y, and Z. Now I can go into a deeper detail that I want to be able to basically take the story that our player has to tell and be able to communicate that effectively to the scout, and do that in a way that is very authentic and genuine about who the player is, because, I need to shoot the scout straight, but also to give my player the best opportunity to put his foot forward and really capitalize on that opportunity, because that's the goal, right? Like, we don't want just kids to be okay with being, I want to be a good college player. Like, we ask them first and foremost, like, do you want to play in the NFL? Because we wanted to develop you to play in the NFL. And so it's really my job to just have that information ready. Whenever a scout says, hey, you free to talk, like, make time for that guy. And, that's posting when we have practice times, sending out updates. It's been a little different this year because we've only played 3 games, and now we're going into our 4th. But, providing updates with scouts when it comes to pro day time, coordinating those things, but really just being a good contact point for these guys for whenever they have questions.
Coach, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor to you and give you the opportunity to let kids know, opportunities when they're, pretty much put in their face. And, hey, this what you guys should consider, not just picking, just say a Rice, but just things in general, even from a job aspect, like you had your opportunities. Just give them some encouragement and knowledge of things to consider when looking at different opportunities. And you can go ahead and promote your podcast and any other thing else that you may have. The floor is now yours.
No, I appreciate it. I would say that the number one thing is don't take yourself too seriously in this process and try to be something that you're not. Just be yourself, because people can see right through that. the more you're yourself, you're going to find a better connection with somebody, and it opens you up to connect better with coaches. So I'd say that first and foremost, because a lot of times, when I'm talking to recruits, I can tell when somebody's putting on a front, somebody's trying to put on a show. And, it's important to just be yourself, because it's going to show at some point. But really take notice of who is showing you real love, not fake love. And when I say that, who's talking to you? Is it the GA? Is it an intern? Is it a recruiting assistant? And those people are going to be key to really being your promoter within that building. And they're going to be the ones that push your name to other people that make decisions. But are you talking to your position coach? Have you gotten on the phone with them? Have you gotten on a FaceTime with them? Have you talked to the coordinator? Have you talked to the head coach? Have you had any discussions about academically how to get into school at the place that you're wanting to get recruited by? These are real steps that you have to cross before something's real, because there's a difference between, talking to a girl, dating a girl, engaged with a girl, and being married to someone. There's levels to everything in life, and there's definitely levels in recruiting. So I would say that first and foremost, because when it comes down to decision making, and you're a month away from signing day, and a team's trying to, keep you warm, quote unquote, and have you interested in them, you've got to be able to ask those tough questions. Hey, coach, where do I stand? Like, I need to know these answers. So I would pay real close attention to who is showing you real love and not fake love. And really, it's important to have one or two people in your life, in your circle, whether it's mom and dad, whether it's your head coach, that you lean on, that have wisdom, that have experienced life, that you can talk to about what you're feeling and what you're going through. Because if you try to internalize everything, it's going to be really difficult. And you need to have somebody you can lean on. You need to write down what you want out of the experience. And that includes on the field, off the field, and in the classroom. Those are three separate things. What do you want to learn? What do you want to be able to accomplish as a player? What do you want to be able to accomplish when your career as a player is done? If you can answer those three questions, I think that you're going to get closer to the best decision. And as far as my podcast is concerned, like I really made this podcast up close and personnel, really to shed light on the recruiting process, what goes on behind the scenes, to help give players, parents, coaches, recruiters the tools to make better decisions, whether that's someone who's choosing a school or someone who's choosing a player, because there's enough talent to go around and fill up every single college football stadium, but it's about getting the right people in the right seats. And, at Rice, I think we have one of the most unique opportunities in an amazing city at an amazing university. And we've got a rising football program that has a ton of talent. And we've been top 5 the last couple of years in recruiting classes in our conference. And I want more than that. And our current recruiting class can't talk about them, but we've got some real dogs in this class. So that's really all I got to say. I know you opened the floor up for me. I don't want to go too far off, but I do appreciate it, man. This is a really awesome platform that you guys have created, Simo and Michael. When I pull up Instagram and the videos start scrolling down, we're talking today about Austin Trammell. It's cool to be able to see one of our guys on there, and the type of content that you're doing, and it's all about educating, informing, and empowering people to make great decisions.
Coach, I really appreciate that. And I want to salute you for showing us love, but we want to salute you for all the things that you're doing and that great information you just gave out, because a lot of young men don't understand when it's something that's so desirable, they almost do it disrespectfully, almost just disregarding it. Like, okay, I got an offer from a school. Okay, I eventually pick one. You actually broke it down. Y'all take your time, look into the process, make sure you're talking to this person. And you weren't really just talking about Rice, you were just saying in general. So this is some great information for any recruit in the nation to have. And I really want to thank you, and me and Simo got somebody we can count on out there in the football world that's going to be an inspiration to all. But on a even better note, y'all make sure y'all check out Rice. They located in Houston, y'all. This coach Alex Brown right here, he the recruit coordinator. He gonna make sure everything's squared away for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave y'all like I always leave y'all. Keep your head up and not down, or else you'll fall to the ground. This is the Life of Football podcast. Catch you next time.
This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. This is a new day to live your life. This is a new day to try to get right. This is a new day to get on track. Yeah, that's life in football. It's life in football. We are life in football.